Hi everyone, Carrie here from NateRiseBake.com. Both yeast and sourdough starter are types of leavening agents. A leavening agent is an ingredient used to make baked goods rise. It's what makes pancakes fluffy, cookies tender, and bread rise. There are two main categories of leaveners, chemical and natural. Examples of chemical leaveners are baking soda and baking powder. These are used for things like cookies, cakes, and quick breads. But natural leaveners include yeast and sourdough starter. They're used for things like cinnamon rolls, bagels, and bread. Let's look at exactly what they are, starting with yeast. When we talk about yeast in baking, what we're referring to is a product that's naturally derived but is made in a factory. The final product is something we can take straight from the grocery store to use in our baking. There are three main types of commercially produced yeast: instant, which is sometimes called rapid rise or bread machine yeast, active dry, and fresh. Instant yeast is sold in packets or jars and comes in the form of a dry powder. Because it's so fine, it can be added right into the dry ingredients without first needing to be activated in liquid. Active dry yeast is also sold in envelopes or small tubs. Like instant yeast, it's a dry, shelf-stable product. But instead of being a powder, it comes in little granules, so it usually needs to be dissolved in liquid before being added to dry ingredients. Fresh yeast is quite different from instant or active dry. It comes in the form of small, moist blocks. It looks a bit like a brick of cheese or a chunk of modeling clay and has a similar texture. It also has a very limited shelf life and can be hard to find in grocery stores, so most recipes written for home bakers don't call for it. Sourdough starter, or just starter, is dough that's been fermented with wild, naturally occurring yeast and bacteria. Like commercial yeast, its main purpose is to leaven dough, to make it rise. But unlike commercial yeast, sourdough starter isn't as instant and ready to be used, because its leavening power is based on living yeast and bacteria cultures, so it generally takes longer to do the same job. Also, while commercial yeast has been stabilized in a factory, sourdough starter is a homemade product. It's stabilized through regularly discarding or using portions of it and then feeding the remaining bacteria cultures with fresh flour and water. In other words, it needs regular care. In some ways, it's less of an ingredient and more of a pet. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you want more information about this and other baking questions, be sure to check out our website at NateRiseBake.com. Thanks for watching.